Hello, I'm Helene Oberman, Managing Director of Interior Design Magazine, and I'd like to welcome you. FeltRight is on a mission to solve the single-use plastic problem while making our indoor spaces more beautiful, highly organized, and just a little bit more quiet. With me today to discuss the four pillars that drive the brand's mission is Talley Goodson, founder of FeltRight. I have to say welcome. And you can be described as a true visionary because you have spent much of your career really focused on sustainable design materials that are both beautiful and responsibly made. For those that need an introduction, you originally founded 3Form and just launched FeltRight. So can you give us just a little bit of background into your life, your career, and why you've decided to focus on sustainable design?
I think just from a young age, felt a real connection to outdoor spaces, whether that be, mountains and oceans. I've always been obsessed with surfing for whatever reason, and just love outdoor spaces. And I think as you have a connection to outdoor spaces and you spend time, climbing mountains and you see firsthand kind of glaciers receding, and you begin to understand that sustainability, it's not sort of just some words that we talk about, but it's kind of really important that we as consumers, as designers, as business leaders, that we maybe recognize this as something we need to take action on. Since the beginning of my career, I have focused on trying to do things responsibly, just trying to create beautiful products. I love design as well. I love beautiful products. I feel fortunate to have been able to spend my career in the A&D space.
Well, Talia, it sounds like you're a man of action because most people understand that there's issues with the world and really need to tackle them. But you really took sort of the bulls by by the reins and are doing something. So, let's talk about FeltRight. So what do you feel was missing in the market that really inspired you to launch this new company?
I started FeltRight in the pandemic, right? In 2020, I had just left 3Form, a company I'd previously founded. And I was fascinated with the idea of a material that was made from 50% single-use plastic. First of all, I just love that idea. I was always also fascinated with the idea of using technology to allow customers to customize their designs. And, I had always, in the A&D industry, customization is really important. People like to customize things and designers love to design. And so being able to do that without a room of 50 people, I think in my previous company, we had a lot of project managers and there were always drawings being sent back and forth. And that was fine, but I just felt like there should be a way to enable customization that is, super technology oriented and fluid and intuitive. And so the first thing we did is built a design studio, an online design studio that really allows designers to just do amazing things over their lunch break. In my previous company, we really were focused solely on architects and designers in the specification market. And I always had friends and people were like, hey, I want some of this stuff. How do I get it? And so with FeltRight, we set up the business from day one to serve the needs of everybody. If you're a homeowner and you need to do something in a living space or a home office, it's very accessible and easy and accessibly priced. But at the same time, all of our materials are commercial grade, and we have a super robust design tool that enables commercial designers to do whatever they want, scale up designs, change them. And of course, we have fantastic lead times and project support capabilities. We have redesign services. So for example, if you don't know exactly what to do with the space or you want some ideas, clients send us, they'll just take a picture of the space, send us an email, and we will we'll give them two or three options.
With your extensive experience with the industry, you really sort of decided there was four pillars that are going to be the drivers for how this company was going to be run. So customization, sound and wellness, sustainability, which you touched on earlier, and organization. So of course, let's dive into them. How are you working with design professionals to really customize for any type of space, whether it is a home or a workplace?
Yeah, I mean, there's really two kinds of customization. One is the first one I would call parametric customization, which is, 19 shapes. I think we're close to 40 colors. And those all exist in the design studio. And so that is sort of within those parameters, there is no additional lead time, no additional cost. You can pick any combination of those shapes and colors and create your design. So as you add colors and shapes, real time in the design studio, you're seeing the finished cost to client of the actual project. And so you're kind of tracking budget. It creates online installation instructions for the contractor. And then in order to specify that, each design has a unique design ID. So as you're designing this, you can save as many designs as you want, and then you pick the ones that make the final selection. Simply include the design ID in your specification. So when that project then goes out to bid, we get the call from the contractor, and the contractor simply references the design ID. We pull it up. There's no kind of back and forth. Well, what exactly did the designer mean? And basically creates an airtight specification that's super simple and saves everybody a bunch of time. And then, the contractors like it because oh my gosh, so it's all right there. It ships out to me. There's the price. There's no surprises. And it sort of works really well for everybody. So that's parametric customization. But we also have plenty of designers say, you know what, I want to do something totally different. So yeah, I love the 19 shapes and 40 colors, but could you guys, I want to sketch something up. I'm going to send you an Illustrator file. I want you guys to create that. And we are set up to do that as well. So that would include custom printing, custom fabrication.
Well, let's talk about how space makes people feel, because I think there's studies that have shown environments with negative acoustics really can contribute to fatigue and irritability, sort of concentration issues, and a host of other sort of negative outcomes. So, how is FeltRight both an easy and accessible solution that can really help combat some of these distractions caused by poor sound quality within a space?
During COVID, we all learned more about that. We were kind of cooped up and oftentimes working from home, and we would get emails and calls that say, my husband's booming voice down the hallway is driving me crazy. Can you help us with that? And we kind of learned a lot about acoustics both at work and at home. And it's true, when you spend a day in a space that has poor acoustics, you just kind of feel like fatigued at the end of the day. You just sort of notice that. But I think more broadly than that, we have a CEU that we share with designers about designing for neurodiversity and sensory inclusivity. And what we find is that if we know a little bit about these issues up front, we're thoughtful about the design, we can in fact design spaces where a broader spectrum of individuals feel included. And so many companies have found that these individuals, individuals who might be somewhat on the autism spectrum or neuroatypical, can make tremendous contributions to an organization if that organization takes those steps and creates an environment where they can feel productive, feel included. Companies have seen a lot of benefits from designing that way. And so we've been able to partner with a number of designers on projects to help create those kinds of environments.
Talley, I really appreciate that you're really investing in thinking about how spaces can make people healthier, making them more productive. But let's also think about how to make the planet healthier. And, we're all very much aware that single-use plastic is such a threat to the planet right now. And I would love to learn more about how your passion for surfing, because you're a huge surfer, has really become a driver for the strong sustainability mission set by the company and really how you're producing each individual FeltRight tile.
Yeah, plastic itself. So, as you see, plastic itself is not inherently, um, an evil or bad material. It lasts a long time. It's stable. It's simply when we use plastic irresponsibly for a single use, water bottle or packaging, um, that's just an irresponsible use of the material, and that sticks around for a long time. And so it creates problems. And in beautiful places where plastic should not be, we should not find plastic. And on the other hand, plastic is very well suited to create beautiful, durable objects. And in the case of FeltRight, it is recycled and spun into yarn, and then they use like a needle punch process in order to create a felted product that lasts. It's durable, lasts forever, and helps create environments that are good for people. And we are so richly blessed, on this planet. And we have so much diversity of natural environment. When we spend time in them, you really just want to preserve them. They're just there's something about, we connect to these environments, and that they're very sort of I don't know, they just help us feel good. So we do need to work hard to preserve these environments.
Well, I feel like something else that I feel makes somebody feel good, besides obviously being highly organized, is color. And while color may not specifically be one of your pillars, I feel like it very much is part of the DNA and the design story for FeltRight. So why
Yeah.
do you feel like color was just so important to the development of the brand? And how did you work with design guru and actually one of my personal friends, Lori Weitzner, to create the color
Yeah.
palette?
Yeah. I mean, color is so obviously like foundational, right, to anything in A&D, and particularly with regards to FeltRight, where we've got kind of these 40 colors and different, if those are all great colors, I believe you can design just about anything you want if those colors are right. Ours is a yarn dyed product, and so they're beautiful and gives you the ultimate sort of design flexibility. And that's been our goal.
Tali, it would be great to actually hear a little bit about of your most recent launches and the collaborators who worked on those with you.
Most recently launched this amazing collection that we collaborated with a designer named Elizabeth Olwen. And when we saw her designs, she had sort of this beautiful color blocking. The way her designs kind of came together just felt like such a great fit for our material. So beautiful color block designs and just such a great sensitivity and aesthetic. We just sort of immediately fell in love with her work and began a process of collaboration with our design team as well as her, and worked over a period of 5 or 6 months to adapt her designs to our material, and then just recently launched this really beautiful collection.
Tali, I just have to say, of course, thank you so much for your time and your insight in both your career, and really how that has really pushed you and motivated you to launch FeltRight. And of course, to our lovely audience, please make sure to check out the FeltRight website to learn more. Thanks, Tali.